let me introduce to our today's speaker. And again, it's a pleasure for me to introduce our visionary leader, Mr. Amit Pathak, with an illustrious career span over 3 decades in corporate leadership and sales. As one of the few licensed NLP leadership, okay, over boasting of over 24 years of experience in NLP programming. His impacts are not only in boardrooms but also we can see across continents. He have given coachings to in USA, UK, and Europe, coaching to topmost executives and employees. Amit influences is beyond words written as he graces television screens also. So let us not wait and join me in giving a warm welcome to Mr. Amit Pathak. So please over to you.
Thank you very much, Yashvi, and hi everyone. Good afternoon. Continue. It's always great to see the audience. Once again, a very warm welcome to all of you to this talk on neurolinguistics programming and its beautiful applications. And on this beautiful day, on the eve of Women's Day, first of all, my big salute, my big gratitude to all the women out here and all the women in my life, my family, my wife, mother, who have all been very instrumental in making me the best person that I could be. So, a big, big gratitude to all of you on this wonderful occasion. Let me give you a quick idea about my story and my background. I have been in this field of psychology and coaching, counseling, and therapy for more than 2 decades now. I have been in the corporate world for more than 3 decades now. I have held lots of senior level corporate roles and positions in various organizations. And, during this period, during this journey, I was always trying to apply the principles of psychology at work. My work was mostly sales to begin with, but eventually it began to grow into leadership positions. So I used to hold a bigger responsibility, but essentially I used to apply psychology in my work, and I used to find amazing results. Now, within psychology, my main focus was in the field of neuro linguistics programming, or NLP. However, besides NLP, I have learned many other sciences in the field of psychology and how the mind works, and I keep applying them all the time in business. Now, besides that, I have developed a lot of my own methods and techniques which can help people come out of a lot of issues in productivity, performance, or procrastination, or unwanted habits, etc., etc. So I used to learn how to use psychology in my own way and build my own methods. As a result of that, I got into two things. One was I started writing books and articles. I have written lots of articles. I have published plenty and plenty of videos on a lot of topics related to self-help and how you can use a lot of psychology concepts to transform yourself, transform your work, and get fantastic results. In addition to that, I have also published a couple of books. The one which you see on the screen over here is a very, very popular book, Amazon bestseller called The Turning Point. And as you can read at the top, the title, What Drives People to Step Out of Their Comfort Zone and Achieve Success. I keep telling, and so I'm going to stop sharing for a moment um, and come back to my video. I keep telling people a very radical concept. You see, everywhere that you read, you will be told trust your emotions, isn't it? However, I would like to say exactly the opposite. Okay, when you want to go after a goal, when you want to do something which is really difficult, don't trust your emotions. And the reason is your emotions are designed to keep you in your comfort zone. The moment you try to do anything new, which is outside of your comfort zone, your emotions will start ringing alarm bells, and they'll kind of keep saying, don't do this, it's scary, it's fearful, and all of that. Because the job of your emotions is to keep you safe, to keep you happy. And if there is any situation where you will be uncomfortable or unhappy, your emotions won't allow you to do that. So when it comes to breaking out of your comfort zone, then you should not trust your emotions. You should lean on your fears. And this book, which I wrote called The Turning Point, it is all about how to lean on your fears and achieve um, unimaginable growth and goals in your life. So let me share my screen again. Hello. Yes. Anyone has a question? All right. Another book called The ACT Model. This is a pure technical book. It is meant for professional coach, counselors, and psychotherapists. And this is a very, very deep insight into how the mind works and how you can come out of any issue going on in your life, whether it is procrastination, not able to achieve goals, not able to plan goals, confusion, depression, insomnia, you name the problem, and that problem solution is provided or mentioned in this book, and how to handle it with some techniques and methods. So this is my background. As Yashvi had mentioned, I've featured on a number of TV shows and programs in the field of psychology where I get invited. I have been a speaker at a lot of forums, global forums, international and national forums on how to program your mind for success, and made a lot of talks. Okay, so this is my background just to give you an idea about what I do and what I bring to the people who I interact with. Let me take a small pause and now pose a question. You can unmute or you can type in the chat window. How many of you have heard of NLP, Neuro Linguistics Programming? Let me hear from you. Let's make it interactive. Have you heard of NLP? Let me take a moment and explain what NLP is. And today we are going to experience the power of NLP. All right. I mean, I have so many things to talk, share, demonstrate to you that I could probably go on for the whole day and I might still not have enough to be covered. All right. But what I'm going to do here in this short 2 hour talk is give you a quick experience of how NLP works and how it can bring powerful results for you in your life. All right. Now I have one requirement. If you don't have already got it, just have a notepad with a pen around, because when we do some activities, you might want to take down some points. NLP. Let me share my screen again. All right. All right. So what is NLP? I would just say it in 2 sentences. It's a science. And I repeat the word science because it is something that you can learn, something that you can practice, and something that you can apply again and again and get consistent results. That's why it's a science for reading minds. So there are methods and techniques whereby you can read people's minds, and you can read them with tremendous accuracy. You can actually pick up what that they are trying to say, which is not being spoken about. You can pick up their thoughts. You can pick up their fears. You can pick up their motivators. You can pick up the way they will take decisions and actions. You can actually pick up a whole lot of signals from them very effectively and very accurately. And obviously, if you know how to read this mind, then the next thing is to program their mind. So it's a powerful mind programming science. And that means you can actually change their thoughts, change their beliefs, change their behavior, get them into a habit, get them out of an habit, get them to do things that you want them to do, get them to not do things that you don't want them to do, and you can do a whole lot of other stuff by reprogramming their mind. Obviously, it also means you can do it for yourself. So that means you can pick up your own personality type. How are you? What are you? How do you act, react, behave, and respond to situations? What are your patterns? Okay, that are holding you back in your life, and how to break those patterns. So then you can do your own mind programming. You can change your own fears. You can change your own negative thoughts and beliefs. You can change your own behaviors in different situations. So how does all of this happen? Obviously, it's a very big science, but in a very simple way, I would just say there are few elements to it. One is language. Okay, what kind of a language are you using to talk to yourself? And if you can just notice your own words, you will figure out that a lot of who you are, your entire personality, your motivators, your fears, your actions, inactions, a lot of who you are is because of the choice of words that you use to talk to yourself. You change your language that you use to talk to yourself, and you will start seeing a change in your own thoughts, behaviors, and actions. Now, it's not just language. There are lots of visualization techniques that we have in NLP. And using these visualization techniques, you can actually program a lot of stuff in your mind. It also has physiological processes where physiology is your body movement. So by moving your body in a certain way, there are methods and techniques you can reprogram the mind. For example, um, there is a technique in NLP where you can read somebody's mind by looking at their eyes. Okay, so just by looking at and watching their eyes and how the eyes move, you can actually pick up everything that is going on in their mind. And now the second step, by making their eyes move in a certain way, you can make them change the way they think. I mean, I can give you many examples, many demonstrations, but today, in the interest of time, I'm just giving you a high level idea. Okay. If you feel, oh my God, this is too difficult to believe, then you can Google and read about NLP eye reading techniques, and you will get whole lot of information and videos and stuff that will prove to you that this works. And it's not just eyes, but the rest of the body, your hand movements, they give away a lot of information, and you can play with that. And of course, the dreaded word, hypnosis. So NLP has hypnosis. There are methods which can be used for taking the mind into a hypnotic trance and get fantastic results. I'll take a small pause over here and I'll ask you any questions, anything that you wish to know so far. Ask anything that you wish to find out, any feedback from anyone. Let's make it interactive. Let's hear from you. Um, Let me see if there is any message on the chat window. Camera is disabled. All right, but then now camera is enabled, right? Um, Anyone else wants to share? Yes, I think Saroja has raised a hand. Saroja, do you want to ask something?
Yes, this NLP, how long does it take for us to reprogram ourselves? I know there might be some practices, but generally, if followed, whatever you say, what's the general timeline?
Okay, super. Good question. I'll actually answer this by asking another question to all of you. How long does it take for a new thought to fit into your head and then give you a totally new perspective of the world? It takes an instant, right? So just as it takes an instant for a thought to come into your mind and give you a new perspective of the world, just like it takes an instant for a fear to come in and stay with you for life, in the same way, it doesn't take too long, just few minutes to reprogram the mind, because it's the same mind which got the fear in 1 minute. So why should it take 1 month or 5 months for the fear to go away? It's the same mind. So, the results are very fast, very fast, very quick. Okay. Any other questions? Anyone? Let me see if anyone has any questions. No? Okay. So here is the thing. If you interact, you will learn more. Okay. If you ask questions, you will learn more. If you share some observations, you will learn more. And it's for you, not for me. And the reason is the way the mind learns is through interactions. If you are given a book and if you keep reading that book every day for 1 month, I bet by the time you reach the last page of the book, you would have forgotten what was written on the first page. Right? But if you are given a book and you keep reading and you keep discussing about that book with somebody and they ask you some questions and you reply back, you will never forget a lot of stuff from that book, because the mind learns through participation. And so if you participate, you will learn a lot more. And there is no right or wrong answer or right or wrong question. So feel free to raise your hand, unmute your mic, ask a question. Who knows? Somebody else might also be having the same question and you help somebody, you help them. Yes. Can I have your name, please?
Yeah, my name is
Asmita.
Ashmita. Yeah.
Hi, Asmita.
Hi, Amit. So my question is, why do we get anxious? Does fear leads to anxiousness, or is it the other way around?
Okay, super. There is a difference between fear and anxiety. Okay, they are not the same. Fear is recalling something scary that happened in the past and imagining that it is now going to happen to you. Okay, that is fear. So for example, in the past, a person was bitten by a dog, and now this person sees a dog and they get fear because the memory from the past instantly comes and it appears in front of us and we get the fear. Anxiety is imagining something that has not yet happened, but imagining that it will happen to you in the future, and that gets you scared. So now anxiety is totally our imagination, something that has not happened, but we think it will happen in the future, and assuming that it will happen makes us anxious. For example, today you have enough money to spend and enjoy a comfortable life, but you keep worrying what will happen when I don't have the money? What will happen when my expenses goes up? What will happen when I fall sick and I have to spend a lot of money? What will happen when I give the exam and I am not able to get good marks? This is anxiety, where you are creating something that has not yet happened in your mind. And then you keep telling, oh my God, now what will happen? So they are different. There are methods in NLP, very quick, very fast, instant methods to eliminate both fear as well as anxiety. All right. We have some more question. Uh, who has raised a hand? I can't see it here. Kashmira. Kashmira.
Yes, sir. So I wanted to ask, does phobia work in the same way as fears and anxiety do?
Superb. Phobia is advanced version of fear. Okay. So normally, if you take a scale, from 0 to 100, okay, and let's say fear is at 10, then at about 50, there is a bigger brother of fear, which is called panic. Panic attacks. Have you heard of the term? Panic attacks, extreme fear. And if you go further up the scale, at 75 comes phobia. Phobia is extremely, extremely strong kind of fear. All right. It is very unreasonable. It is very unrealistic. And it is just a huge amount of imagination in the mind. NLP has extremely powerful techniques for phobia removal. It is well known, like, NLP is known in the world for its ability to remove phobias quickly and instantly. So yes, I hope that answers your question. And we
Yes,
have Snigdha Dasgupta. Yes, Snigdha ma'am, কেমন আছেন আপনি?
আমি খুব ভালো আছি, sir. Thank you so much. Amit sir, I had a couple of questions. One, so when you were talking about fear, you said fear is experiential, as in you have experienced something before and now you're anticipating the same thing will happen again, right?
Yes,
And phobia is a vastly exacerbated form of fear, right?
yes.
However, phobias can happen. For example, a phobia of water, hydrophobia, right?
Hmm,
There's
hmm, hmm,
nothing that has happened bad in that sense with water. However, the
hmm,
phobia exists. Or
hmm,
arachnid say phobia, like fear of spiders, right? And that is
hmm,
something
hmm,
I have people who have in my life who have it, right? But nothing, a spider has not done anything wrong with them. Then
hmm,
how do I link fear and phobia? That's the first. And
hmm.
if phobia is at 75 on the scale, then what is at 100?
Okay, I'll answer your question in just one bit. First, if you
Mm-hmm.
remember when I said phobia, I said phobia is highly irrational.
Right.
Okay, so when something is irrational, then there is no rational logic. Okay, so what really happens
Okay.
is, let's say somebody is bit by a spider, and now when
Hmm.
they see a spider, they get scared.
Hmm.
Okay, then that's a fear. Okay, but now if just the mere mention of the word spider
Hmm.
makes them start sweating and panting and getting scared and
Yeah.
shivering,
Yeah.
then that's irrational because they have not even seen a spider.
Yeah.
So phobia crosses the rational logical boundaries. And
Yeah,
so
like a lot of
now,
people have phobia of darkness, right? There is
correct.
nothing inherently that darkness has done wrong to them. However, I
Correct.
suppose it is tapping into some form of insecurity that they have deep rooted, which is then manifesting itself in such a form, right? I mean, that's my
Okay.
understanding, and I would have, yeah,
So
please.
I will tell you one more point, which is very important before we continue. Okay. We
Mm-hmm.
learn, we learn through three different sources.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. One is our own experiences.
Right.
Okay. Second is experiences of someone we trust.
Okay.
Okay. So if you know someone who you trust a lot, maybe your parents, and if your parents
Mm-hmm.
say spiders are very dangerous,
Yeah.
then
Okay. I see where this is going. Yeah.
even if you have never experienced a dangerous spider, your mind will always get programmed spiders are dangerous.
Gotcha.
Okay. And the third source is people of authority, like your teachers, or mentors, or anybody on internet whom you respect a lot. Now, if that person says in a video, this is spiders are bad, then you tend to accept it and that becomes your reality. Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
So
like most people would have never seen a tarantula, but almost everybody would say they are scared of it.
correct. So now the point I'm trying to make here is not every fear is because you have experienced that event.
Okay, I get you.
Okay. It could be due to many other ways that you have developed that fear. So when you said
Mm.
about the darkness, I have come across many people who have never experienced problems due to darkness.
Right.
Okay. But they have been taught by their parents or grandparents when they were 4 year old. And now they are holding on to that.
Yeah, I understand. Yes.
Okay. So now let me let me tell you a small story, all of you. All right. Let me see if I can share my screen. Okay. Give me a second. Let me know if you can see my screen. Right. Now, the picture that you see is of my book, The Turning Point. And there is a reason why I put this picture. In my book, The Turning Point, I have put lots of stories. And majority of these stories are about women who have achieved something in life and who have gone beyond their comfort zone to achieve it. So one such story that I have written in the book, as soon as you open the book, is of this lady called Rosa Parks. You may have never heard her name, but now that you have heard, if you do a Google search later on, who was Rosa Parks, you will be amazed
If I'm
at her.
not wrong, yeah, if I'm not wrong, she's the one who sat in the bus meant for whites, right?
Exactly.
Yep, yep.
Right. Now, this is Rosa Parks. All right. On 1st December, so she used to work in a supermarket. She was a salesperson or maybe one of those people in the back office who used to take care of all the stuff. And she had a very normal life. She used to go every morning to work. She used to work for 7-8 hours. She used to come back every evening from work. She had a very regular life, nothing spectacular, just a typical average woman who is going through a normal life. One day on 1st December 1955, she was having a bad day at work. And it was December, so it was very cold. It was snowing. People don't want to go out. The atmosphere was very depressing and cloudy. There was snow falling, and she was returning home. And she had a bad day, so she was already feeling bad. And then she sat in a bus. And in those days, there was racial discrimination. So the first 4 seats of the bus were reserved for white people, and black people can only sit from the 5th seat onwards. But if there are more white people in the bus, then the black people are required to vacate the 5th seat or the 6th seat and give that place to the white people. So on that day, it was evening time, and she was sitting on her 5th seat, the place which was given to her being a black woman. And after a few stops, few white men walked in, and there were no seats available because the first 4 seats were already occupied by white people. So as per the rule, they asked her to vacate. Now, just before that, about 15 days or 1 month before that, the courts had given a ruling that this system is illegal and it should not be followed. However, nobody was listening to it. Everybody was following this system because it was just a fresh rule. But Rosa Parks was aware of it. So when the white people came and they asked her to vacate the seat, she refused. She was already having a very bad day and she had no intention of getting up. She had no intention of allowing somebody to bully her anymore. It created such an uproar that the bus driver stopped the bus. Okay, the conductor of the bus said, "I'm not going to move this bus until this lady gets up." But she was so adamant. The person sitting next to her had already gotten up and moved. But she said, "Come what may, I am not going to move." Eventually, she was pulled out of the bus. And then a court case was filed against her. Now, when the court case was filed, it led to the first and the biggest historic revolution in United States against racial discrimination, and it was called the Montgomery movement. Now you might think, oh, I have never heard of this Montgomery movement. I don't know what it is all about. But if you were to read the history, you will find that there was a total boycott of all buses by the black people. And from that point, a person came into limelight who was eventually called as the father of the American apartheid racial discrimination opposition movement, Dr. Martin Luther King. So Dr. Martin Luther King, who eventually brought racial discrimination out of America, was born because of the work that Rosa Parks did on that day, in that moment, in that bus. So what does that tell us? What is the qualities that Rosa Parks brought, which which comes to our mind? I will ask you to type in the chat window. What do you make about this event? What do you make about this incident? Yes, Babita ji, I will answer your question. How to stop procrastination? Okay. Yeah. Renuka ji, I will answer your question later on. So many people have asked so many questions. Okay, we'll be covering many of these things. But what do you think are the qualities that this woman, Rosa Parks, brought in, which probably even she didn't know that she had? What do you think? Let's hear from you as you type in the chat window. Yeah, she was brave. Face your fears with courage. Superb, Archana ji. Right? What else? What comes to your mind? Okay. What comes to your mind? Let's hear from you. More of you. Type in the chat window. What do you think? What are the qualities that Rosa Parks showed? Being determined. Yeah. What else? Can you imagine if you were in her position, how much this situation would have put a pressure on you, right? And how did she handle it? Superb. Believe in yourself. Courage to stand up. Be unique. Tirtha, thank you. Superb. You see, I want to share with you a study Once you make up your mind, nothing can stop you. Superb, Archana ji. Right. Now I want to share with you a study which now this Rosa Parks case was in 1955. Now I'm going to show you a study which HP Corporation did in 2018 or 19. Now let me share that study with you. So there was a research done by two people. One was a lady called Carol Dweck, and the other one was a research by HP. Let me now tell you both of these stories. So what Carol Dweck said is that she is a social scientist, social researcher. What she said is that when we are small, when we are 3 years old and 4 years old, both boys and girls come with the same background. Okay, but the way the teachers, the way the family, and the way the elders communicate between boys and girls is very different. So she found generally girls are taught to look pretty. Girls are taught to behave decently. Girls are taught to sit or stand in a certain way and to talk in a certain way. However, the same elders, the same teachers tell the boys that you are a man. You behave like a man. You should be able to handle hardships. You should be able to handle physical stamina and physical activities. You should be able to handle how to fight and win your fights. So what she found is up to the age 11 to 12, girls actually outbeat, okay, they surpass the boys in every area, whether it is studies, whether it is drawing, whether it is sports and many other things. However, after the age of 11 or 12, there is a decline. Okay, and girls begin to slow down while boys begin to speed up and begin to go faster into that direction of being rough, being physically, aggressive, etc. So whose fault is this? Okay, is it really the fault of the girls, or is it something that the system, the elders, the messaging that has happened to them that has caused a lot of these things? Now I'll tell you the other research. This is the HP research. This was done in 2019. What they found is that men typically apply for a job even if their profile has a 60% match, 60% match to the required job conditions. Okay, whereas women only apply for a job when there is a 90% match, 90% match to the job specifications. Okay, and furthermore, this research found girls tend to hold on, the women tend to hold on to their jobs longer, much longer, 2.5 times longer than men, which means men tend to change jobs a lot faster than women. Girls, uh, you know, change jobs less often. And when they do, they are again looking for 90% match to their profile versus the job description. Now, I am not here to debate or validate this research study, but I want to ask you all a question. What could be the reasons for these? Why would, you know, the girls or the women hesitate to change jobs or apply for positions where there is less than 60% or 60% match. What do you think could be the reason? Okay, risk taking ability. Yes, Archana ji. What else? What do you think? Okay, need for being secure, tirtha, comfort zone. What else? By the way, how many of you feel this study seems to be reflecting the situation pretty much the way it is? You can always type yes, yes in the chat window. Okay. Lack of self-efficacy, fear of failure. Yeah, Savi, correct. Women look for more stability. Yes. See, how many of you are saying yes, scared of taking a risk for women at work? And what are the challenges that they face? And I had made a small list of points that I got as a feedback. So I'm going to share that here and let me know how many of you feel that these points happen to be valid. First, working mom guilt. Okay. Second, gender discrimination, not taken seriously by male counterparts. Midlife crisis, managing mood swings, recognition not reflecting efforts. Building a confident and charismatic you is a problem or is a requirement, compared to men. Dealing with male subordinates who are senior in age, how to manage them with authority and rapport. Pressure to look more presentable compared to men. Time management, because women have to manage home, work, and many other things. Achieving their goal becomes work safety, especially while traveling outstation. Anxiety and stress, and the need, this desire to be unstoppable. Okay, but this is lacking somewhere. So I'll stop sharing and I'll ask you, do you think these are something that happen at work quite often for women? You can type yes if you agree on the chat window. Right. See, so now many of them are true for men as well. Yes, I was told, when I was doing one program for one organization on women, how to empower the women. That can you focus on these topics and how can we help the women in the organization to to work around these topics and how to empower them. All right. So I asked myself, and I'm going to ask you all this question. What is at the core of all of these issues? What is at the core? What is the central thing, uh, you know, uh, at the core of all of these issues? Let me share my screen. So at the core of all of these is two things: self-confidence and courage. If you have self-confidence, if you have courage, then majority of those issues can get resolved. And this is not my words. These are actual research papers on women at work. And this was the observation from those research papers. Okay. Um, if a man doesn't know something, he may still go ahead and claim he knows it and he will be able to manage it. Whereas the research found that if a woman doesn't know something, she would honestly say, well, I don't know this. If you want, I can learn, I can pick up, and I can move on. Right. What is required to get this self-confidence and courage? And what I have noted on the blue boxes on the right is, on one side, you need to come out of your fears. your negative beliefs. This is what I call as cleaning up your house. When you clean up your house, when you remove the fears and negative beliefs, then your house is ready to be redecorated. Now, what would you redecorate it with? You will redecorate it with these other three things. Trusting yourself. Trust yourself. No matter what, I can do it. I will somehow manage it. And to do that, you need to have a positive self image, an image of yourself which is brimming with positivity, which is glowing with energy, and finally, self confidence that I can do this easily. So, if you see, these two are opposites of each other, right? If you have fears and beliefs, then that will stop you from having these three things. And if you focus on these three things, then that will not allow these fears or beliefs to come into your life. All right. Again, I'll take a short pause. I will ask you if you have any questions, any anything you wish to share before I move on, because now I'm going to show you some very powerful methods for removing fears, for changing and removing your negative beliefs. And I'll show you how you can create this positive self image of yourself that can help you achieve the goals that you wish to achieve. From this point, the theory and the presentation is over. That was my last slide. From now on, we are actually going to do some activities which will help you to get that experience. But before I do that, I want to ask if there are any questions, any doubts, anything you wish to share. Anyone? Yes, Saroja. Yes, Saroja.
Yes, my question is, as women, we have a lot of other responsibilities which is untold, maybe as a mother or as a
Yes.
daughter-in-law or anything else. Maybe we restrict ourselves, prioritize our family first for a certain period of time. My journey in the career world might not be as fast, or I might not prioritize it. So how do I identify which time, or what's the time for me to go all out?
Brilliant.
The responsibility never ends. I'm not saying a father will not have, they will have, but I think we take it more on ourselves rather than somebody giving it to us.
Correct. So, first of all, you rightly mentioned that whatever you said as your priorities, the same priorities apply to men as well. All right. And yet, you see that there is a difference in how men handle them versus how women handle them. Also, you rightly mentioned there is a right time for the right priorities. The problem is if you don't know what should be the right priority at a given time, then that causes issues in life. To think about your family or your children more than your work is not bad. It's definitely a very good thing. But to be obsessed with the family and not able to work is again a challenge. All right. Secondly, there are times when you might want to relax a bit on the family front and focus on the job front because you know they are being taken care of or whatever. So the issue that most people face is not knowing what to prioritize when. In NLP, we have methods and techniques to help you understand the way you are currently prioritizing, then understand whether this is reasonable or unreasonable, and then figure out a way to reprioritize so that it becomes more reasonable to your current circumstances. And I will repeat that again, to your current circumstances. The problem is we are stuck with our priorities and we don't adopt or change as per circumstances. There are times when I should leave everything and be with my family because the circumstances demand it. But there are times when I have to let my family be free and focus on my work because the circumstances are that way. If you can pick that up, then things get very stable and sorted for you. And we have a values system in NLP. Okay, what are your current values? How these values are arranged? How these impact your work and your life, your family life, and then how to play with these priorities in the values so that you get a better organization for this moment. Again, when I have sorted this out for somebody, they may come back to me in 6 months and say, but now it is not working because circumstances have changed. So these values also have to be reprioritized. Okay, so they apply at a given point in time. Hope that helps you, Saroja.
Yes, thanks.
Any other question from anyone? So now I'm going to show you a very beautiful process for creating positive beliefs and positive energy in some area of your life. Okay, so what I want you to do is I want you to take a piece of paper, write down one goal that is important for you to achieve. Write down one goal that is important for you to achieve, that you are dreaming of achieving. Okay, so once you have written down, okay, just type done, D-O-N-E, done in the chat window. I want you to just pay attention to this goal. So for a few seconds, just read that sentence to yourself and feel that connection, feel that desire for that goal. Now I'm going to ask you to think, what are those beliefs that are limiting you, that are stopping you from achieving this goal? What are those beliefs, your own beliefs about yourself, about your capabilities, or about your circumstances that are stopping you or holding you back, or that are making you helpless in achieving this goal? So think about it and write down 2 or 3 such strong beliefs that are holding you back from achieving this goal. Okay, others, if you can switch on your videos, that would be great. Saroja and Asmita, Divya, thank you, Divya. And we have Aarti and Azmi and Jhaila, Deepali, superb. Christina, thank you. All right, so I'm assuming you have now noted down those things that are holding you back, those things that are your limitations. Okay, now these limitations can be of any type. It could be your own capabilities. It could, I don't have the knowledge, I don't have the skills, or it could be circumstances. My family cannot allow me to do this. I don't have time for that. All of it could be circumstances. It could be, meanings. Meanings means because I cannot get up early in the morning, that is why I cannot achieve this goal. You have drawn a meaning. So it could be anything. Don't worry, just note it down. Now, do you agree, or do you at least feel that yes, these are my limitations, these are the situation, these are the challenges that are holding me back? Okay, now I'm going to ask you a very interesting and a very vague question. All right, now ask yourself, if you had to describe in one word or one sentence to yourself, okay, What is your definition of life? What is life? Just ask yourself. I'm going to take you through a journey. Okay. So I want you to, if you like, okay, if you like to close your eyes, you can close them. If you want to keep them open, you can keep them open. Just go through your life, keeping this definition of life in your mind. Okay. So just go through your life and look at all the events that have happened, keeping this definition of life in your mind. Just nicely, peacefully go through your own life journey. Now, I'm going to ask you to make one more trip. Now go back and live your entire, look at all the events from your life where you have achieved things. Okay, achieved results in your exam, achieved good friendships, achieved some promotion at work, achieved some, your first job and you earned something, achieved some event, organized some event. I don't know. Now close your eyes and go through the achievements that have happened for you in your life, which you can claim as my achievements. Okay, so now I'm going to ask you again, this time, if you like, just close your eyes. As you look back at all these achievements, as you look at all the things that happened in your life, as you connect it to that definition of life, okay, what are your fundamental beliefs about life? What are your fundamental beliefs? You know what is a fundamental belief? It's like your core belief. For example, you might say life is about fight, growth, and accomplishments, and a new cycle goes on. Or you can say life is about ups and downs, but eventually you keep going. I don't know. You make up your own definition, okay, which is like your fundamental definition or your fundamental belief about whatever you have achieved in life, and how would you put that in one sentence? Now, this is a very important step. OK, it's like this is my fundamental belief from all the events that have happened in my life and all the achievements that I have done. And maybe setbacks that I have faced. I've got a fundamental definition. OK, and it could be any sentence. For example, as I said, the sentence could be life is a fight and you have to fight. It could be anything. You make up your what comes to your mind as one sentence that is like your nice, beautiful, fundamental definition of summary of you know whatever has happened. Have you all done? Okay. Now write that sentence down in nice and bold, whatever you have got. This is like my fundamental definition. Write it down. Written? Okay. Now what I want you to do is, how is this fundamental belief helping you to look at those limiting beliefs that you had written down few minutes back and think differently? So if you had to apply this fundamental definition, which you have just written down, and then now read that limiting beliefs related to your goal and ask yourself, now what do you think about those goals, about those beliefs? I'm going to ask you if you want to unmute. You don't have to tell me the specific details, but just tell me now as you think of those limitations that you had written down, and now if you connect it to that fundamental beliefs that you have brought, what is the change in your own perspective that you are able to experience now? Yeah, who wants to go first? If you can unmute, if you can write down in the chat window, let's hear from you. Has that shifted the way you now think about those limitations? Yeah. Divya, Christina, Revati, have you gone through the process? Saroja, how do you think? Apeksha, what do you think now? Do you want to unmute and
Definitely.
share?
Yes, it definitely sounds a little different when I started writing through that one sentence for my goal that I have just written across, right? I think it's a mindful practice for us to keep on going in that chain and not be so stuck with the priorities as you mentioned.
Right. So does that now change your perspective about those limitations that
It
you had
certainly
written down?
does. It certainly does.
Right. Right. Okay. Now, anyone else wants to share? Ashmita, Neha, and who else is there? So many of you are there. Let's hear. Aruna, Azmi, Ismail, yeah, Babitha. Let's hear from you. Come on. I don't want to know your specific details, but I want to know how this has shifted your perspective. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I realized that though I was having goals, probably I was not probably I'm not passionate about those what I'm declaring myself, saying I want one, two, three. There is a lack of passion, and the statement which I've written now is not aligned to what I wanted. So I know now that I have to align to what I want with the shorter actions to be taken. I'm aware I need to take actions right now towards
Superb.
what I want.
Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, anyone else wants to share?
Yes, Amit, this Revati here. Uh,
Yes.
to me, one of the goals that I set for 2024 was to learn driving. I don't know to drive a two wheeler or a four wheeler. So this is a goal that I've set. And the one big stumbling block is that the criticism that I might come across when I go on the road. Uh, so the thing is that being an elderly person or 40 plus, people might mock at you. The first
Hmm.
thing that I should be thinking of is my priority and to stay focused on it. My necessity is one thing that I need to focus on, unmindful of what others have to say. So to me, need
Superb.
comes first there.
Great. Fantastic. Now I'm going to show you the next step, which is how to connect this to a positive self-image and remove these negative beliefs. Now, this is a visualization process. Okay, but it's a wonderful process that you can try out. Okay, so if you can close your eyes, you will really enjoy this. And this is for everybody who are there with their videos off. Shanti, Padmini, Neha, Apeksha, Mrunmay, so many of you are here. If you can close your eyes and do this process. All right. So what I want you to do is just close your eyes and I want you to think of this goal that you wish to achieve. All right. So I want you to think of this goal that you wish to achieve. And I want you to make a picture of this goal. Make a picture of this goal. Okay. And keep it somewhere in front of you. All right. Now, I want you to think about all the negative beliefs that have always played in your mind, mostly related to this goal that are holding you back, all the negative beliefs. So take a moment and think of all the negative beliefs holding you back. Now, beliefs don't just come out of thin air. They are related to incidents and events that have happened in our life. So go back in your life and connect to whatever incidents you can remember which are related to these negative beliefs. It could be from something that happened 1 week back. It could be something that happened 1 year back. It could be something that happened 10 years back. It could be something that happened in your childhood. So I'm going to keep quiet for next few seconds. Go back and feel and visualize those events, incidents that have brought you to these negative thoughts about your own capabilities, your own limitations, and how you are handling things. As you remember these events and as you remember these negative thoughts, I want you to just imagine, okay, that each of these events and these thoughts and the pictures, they are connected by a thread or a rope, okay, and they are tied around your body, around your waist, and they are pulling you back and they are holding you. They are not allowing you to go forward in life. So now I want you to feel that those strings or ropes around your body, and they are pulling you back from all those events that have happened in your life, which have brought these negative thoughts and beliefs in your mind about what you cannot do, what you cannot achieve. Okay, so imagine right now behind you, there are all these events and they are actually tied to a rope or a thread or a string, and that string is wrapped around your body. And imagine now you are trying to push ahead in your life, but they are pulling you back. And the harder you try to push ahead, the stronger you feel that pull holding you back. And I want you to right now take a moment to feel that pull and feel that desire for you to move ahead, but not getting the right speed or momentum because there is a thread or a rope that is pulling you back which is connected to all those negative beliefs around your own limitations. Now, as you do that, I want you to visualize this. In front of you, there is a tunnel. And it's not a very big tunnel, it's a small tunnel. And at the other end of the tunnel, you can see the picture of your goal. At the other end of the tunnel, you can see the picture of your goal. So I want you to visualize that right now. All right. And now somewhere, okay, closer to the goal or somewhere in front of you, I want you to create a picture of someone you know who has the qualities and the energy to achieve these kind of goals. A reference model, a person living or dead, okay, who has these qualities, who has this positive energy, okay, which you desire to have to achieve this goal. Now make a picture of this person and see this person's picture in front of you. I'm going to ask you to imagine right in front of this person's picture. I want you to paste a picture of yourself. Big. Okay. Right in front of this person's picture, I want you to keep a picture of yourself. Really big picture. Now, I'm going to say, when I'm going to say 1, you will make your picture disappear and you can see this person's picture. And when I say 2, you will once again make your picture come up and you won't see this person's picture. All right. So feel the strings which are attached to your body, which are pulling you back, which are because of all your negative beliefs. See the picture of this ideal person, your role model in front of you. In front of this picture, see your own picture. See how beautiful you look. And now, okay, 1, disappear your picture. See this person's picture. 2, bring your picture back. 1, disappear your picture. See this person's picture. 2, bring your picture back. 1 and 2. 1 and 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, see this person's picture. 2, your picture. 1, see this person's picture. 2, your picture. I'm going to do a bit faster. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Now as this becomes faster, the two pictures begin to become one. And you are acquiring the qualities of this person's energy, beliefs, etc. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. And both the pictures merge and feel the picture of the bigger you in front of you. Okay, connected and having these qualities of your role model. And now imagine this bigger picture of you is able to connect to you from the front. So right here in front of you, imagine a laser light beam with an energy that is connecting you to this picture of yourself, this self image of yourself, which is very positive. Now I'm going to tell you one more thing, one last thing. I'm going to ask you to imagine a giant scissor, okay, that is going to come and instantly cut all these threads that are holding you back. Okay, and as soon as this giant scissor comes and cuts all these threads that are holding you back, imagine you can actually float towards this bigger picture of you in front of you, enter into this picture, get all the energies and qualities of this other you, and then go through the tunnel and get into the goal that you wish to achieve. All of this will happen at the same time. Are you ready? Okay, let's do this. When I say 3, imagine a giant scissor snapping these threads from behind you, releasing you from all those negative beliefs. And all those negative beliefs and those events of the past are floating away from you into the sky. And you are going forwards and entering into that big picture of yourself with the big identity. And then you go towards through the tunnel into the goal. Ready? 1, 2, and 3. Giant scissor comes, snaps. Feel the release that you feel when all the threads are broken. Float into the bigger picture of yourself. Enter into the picture. Feel all the qualities that you can now experience from within you. And now go through the tunnel and go on the other side. See that big goal that you wish to achieve and step into that goal as if you have achieved. Now notice how you feel. Now notice what you think about yourself, about your own beliefs. Now notice what you think about those old beliefs that were holding you back. Now notice how you feel about your own thoughts. What has changed? How will you now use this new image of yourself from today onwards? What are the things that you will start doing from here on that you always wanted to do? Now you can come back here in this moment. feeling the change that you are now experiencing within. And you can now share with us, how do you feel now with regards to yourself, your new thinking, your new beliefs, about the old beliefs that you used to have, anything that you wish to share. Let's have your videos on. Maximum people, switch on your videos for 5 minutes. Let's see everyone as much as possible. Let's see you. Yes, thank you, Saroja ji. Yes, Revati, you want to share something? Ma'am, you are on mute. Can you unmute?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I think I even felt a goosebump over there when I was trying to visualize it. That really brought in a change. I don't know whether it was visible to you, but I had that sudden jerk over there when I could feel the refreshment in within.
Superb. Great. Who else wants to share? Let's have your videos on for just 5 minutes. Let us see each other. This would be a great way to connect to everybody. Divya ji, you want to share something? Saroja, how was the experience? Yes.
Saroja here.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I really felt relieved. I felt free. And I also felt I was so foolish to believe some things which is not true. And the visualization looked like a picture, like as if it's a movie, where I'm playing my own role and a different role of me. So it was really nice to experience myself in a different way. It looked like a dream, to be frank.
Superb. Great. Who else wants to share? Quickly, let's hear from you. Anyone else wants to go? Irene, I think you had switched on your video for a moment and then you went away. You want to share something, Irene?
Yeah, my camera is not working.
No problem. But you want to. How was the experience for you? We can't hear you.
Yeah. I actually got some disturbance in between, so I was not able to get the full experience.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No problem. Pratiksha, you had just come on video. You wanted to share something, Pratiksha ji? Yes. Anyone else wants to share? Come on, let's share. How was your experience? How do you feel now? Okay, we are hearing Archana say, now that I have realized my fundamental belief, I feel I can make it happen if I wish to. Superb. Yes, Archana ji, thank you. Padmini, I have achieved whatever I have was believing in myself, and the limitation I have written is myself or my thoughts. All right, great. Okay, how do you feel now, Padmini ji, as you went through this process? Okay, so yes, Divya ji, I feel more confident in myself. Thank you very much. Wonderful. My objective of this talk is to see if I can, make a shift in even 10% of the people. Then this talk has been worth the effort to share these processes and these beautiful techniques with you. Yeah. Anyone else wants to share? Apeksha, Christina, Neha. Who else? Yeah. We have Aarti Sharma, Aruna, Babita. Great. If you can share, that would be great. Because what I want to do is, normally when I do these kind of programs, when I do these kind of talks, a lot of people experience major shifts, and we don't realize that we are the only people who are holding back our own careers, our own growth, our own success. And if we can just free our mind from all these negative thoughts, fears, limitations, etc., then the sky is the limit. And the as I explained to you in the beginning of this talk, the research has found that compared to men, women tend to have these fears, these limiting beliefs a lot more stronger that are holding them back. If they can, and if you can break free from that, then you can achieve wonders in your personal life as well as professional life. And I conduct these kind of programs for HR, for leaderships, for salespeople, where I help them break past these barriers and help them achieve these kind of growths. I will probably pass on to Yashvi now. Maybe Yashvi, if you want to wrap up, if there are any questions, feel free to ask them now. We still have about 10-15 minutes to discuss. I would be very happy to answer them, or you can always ask them later on, and I'll be very happy to answer them. Okay.
Thank you, Amit.
Thank you, Yashvi, for the
Yeah.
opportunity. This was great. Wishing you all a very happy Women's Day.
Thank you so much. And it was such an amazing event, starting from your book stories, mind reading techniques, fears, anxiety, self confidence. Like it was really giving me goosebumps, like when I was, taking a part in your activities. So it was such an amazing experience for me. Also, thank you so much for such an sharing such an amazing, experience or journeys, and we also got a lot of things to learn.
Thank you. Thank you very much.